Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August the 22nd. Let's talk about Weiss Lake. Lee Pitts, crappie guide on Weiss Lake, also a tremendous bass guide here and at Neely Henry. Lee has been catching his fish offshore on Weiss Lake, 10 to 12, 14 feet of water, Carolina rigs, football jigs, maybe a crankbait here or there, but mainly tough bite up there at Weiss Lake. Straight tail worms are good unless you get a little cloud cover. Then you got to turn to a curly tail worm. But it's a slow bite. Overall, you got to really slow down, look for gravel bars, shell beds, maybe some stumps on there. Might be able to catch a fish here or there, skipping a jig around a dock, but for the most part, the bite's offshore. Lee also has been spending some time down on Neely Henry with some guide trips for bass, and he said same thing. Offshore bite is key. He's been catching them down to 20 feet of water. Once again, in the high conditions with the sun, you want to look at a straight-tailed worm on a shaky head, maybe even a drop shot here or there. Look for ledge edges with some bait fish on it, and if you can see some fish on there, it makes it even better. Once the sun gets covered up by clouds, you get some wind, maybe even some current there, then you can go to a crankbait, you can go to a football jig, those kinds of things. But really, the straight tail worm is going to be key offshore on a shaky head. You might even be able to go to a magnum version of it as well for a little bit bigger bite, but it's going to be tough. After the current starts picking up, go to the bank. Look water willows, where the current's going to wash against that water willow. It's going to be noon or a little bit after. You can flip a jig, a creature bait, something like that. You might be able to catch a few fish. If you mix some wood in there, then you find a bigger bite here or there on the edge of it. But for the most part, the bite is really slow. You got to slow yourself down, work for your bites, but there's a chance to catch a few good fish. Thanks for spending some time with us on the Bucks Island Area Fishing Report, and we will talk to you next week.